like opt in or whatever.
Yeah, just because I mean, I don't think you have to pay the deposit until you actually like get selected. So like even just
Yeah.
getting on the wait list and then deciding like when you get to the point like you
Right.
get accepted to decide if you're going to go or not. But it's like honestly like the Success Club trip is probably one of my favorite trips. Like it's literally the one trip Nick and I go on every single year that's like just me and him. And like it's my favorite cuz you literally can like unplug from like everything and like
Yeah.
you still can kind of work, but you literally get like the vibe of everybody, and it's just like there's no like obligations. Where Summit's good, but Summit is like you're constantly busy, busy, busy,
So busy.
busy. Where the Success Club trip is literally like wake up, put your swimsuit on, or wake up, work out, put your swimsuit on, chill by the pool all day, and then like party at night if you want to party at night, and then go to bed. Like it's so chill.
That sounds amazing. I don't do well on cruises. I get seasick, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, I love cruises. You get sick on a cruise ship?
Okay, I've never been on a cruise ship, but I get seasick in like a swing in a rocking chair. So like
I mean, cruise ships are pretty stable, except I mean, if you get really rough seas, then there's an issue. But for the most
okay.
part,
Maybe not.
I noticed when we went on one a couple years ago, and that was the first one I'd ever gone on. I noticed that it was really sway after we got off and was on land and then got back on. Then I noticed it was really sway. But before we got off, like, because we stopped in like different places,
Right.
I didn't notice the swaying until we got on like land. And then getting back on, I was like, man, we're really moving.
This is really kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I love cruises.
But so definitely get on that. And then the deadline for Diamond for Summit for the retreat is May 17th. I believe that's a Thursday. It's also my birthday. So that's how I remember it's that day. So get to Summit. Hey, I don't know. Are all you guys going? I mean, yeah. Haley, we should talk about that. I don't know if that's it's like soon. So it's something you have to kind of think about, but it's definitely worth going. And then do we just want to jump right into it, I guess? We can jump right into it. Okay, so I'm reading, I should have grabbed it. The high performing
High performance habits.
Yeah, high performance habits. I never remember what it is, but I was reading the other day about the first habit is like clarity and figuring out like being clear on like who you are, what you want, and how to get there. So like that's something I really wanted to kind of talk about tonight is really just getting clear on like not necessarily like who you are, but I think that is important too, but just like really what you guys want in this business. Because I think like what you really want, not what, I say you should go for or what everybody else is going for, but like really what do you want in this business? And it doesn't even have to be rank. It doesn't even have to be like how many diamonds, like really what do you want this business to like bring for your life, I think, and really getting clear on that. And I know like even getting clear on who you are, because I feel like, and I mean, Claire can talk about this too, but really and this is something I feel like I'm even working on trying to figure out, like, really, who am I? Because once we know that and figure out, like, who we really are within ourselves, we can start attracting those right people to us instead of, like, just trying to get everybody, Does that make sense? So I don't know if you guys want to talk about, like, different ways to, like, really get clear. I don't know if, Claire, if you have any tips on, like, really getting clear on who you are. And I know even like Andrea did a really good post in the Misfit Means Family group. I think it was like a couple weeks ago on like manifesting money with this business. And she had like a chunk, I'll post a picture of it because I snapshotted it, but it was like a ton of questions. And she was like, these are such good questions to like go through to help you get clear on like what you really want in this business, because maybe you feel like, oh, I only really want to make like $100 a week, but really it might be like you really desire more than that, and kind of like getting clear on that. I guess for me, I have a hard time talking about how to get clear on like figuring out who you are, because I feel like I still struggle with that. So I don't know if anyone like feels like they have a really good sense of like who they are and how to like, well, Claire's going to kind of talk about like how to post about that, but I don't know if anyone else has any.
I mean, I feel like I'm getting better at it. And I think these past couple months have really been huge for me.
So good, Dawn.
But I mean, I don't know, as far as who you are, doing what feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
That is, to me, that's how you're going to figure out who you are. I mean, trying to please others, make everybody else happy isn't, I'm not saying don't do that. And I'm not saying don't make other people happy, but you have to be true to who you are and only do what feels good to you. Mm-hmm. And then things are going to start happening. I mean, I don't know. I've finally started to believe more than for years and years and years, I'm a go-getter. I was in high school from early on. I mean, I don't know. I was leading kids around the neighborhood when I was 5. That's always been what I did. But somewhere along the way, past few years, maybe longer than that, I got lost because all I was doing was pleasing everybody else. And I just feel like where I'm at now, I'm going to be better at helping others because I'm better at helping myself.
Mm-hmm. And I think that, like, I don't know if you guys got on the Misfit call last night, but that's literally like what Joelle said. Like, the first thing we do.
I wasn't on there, so I didn't hear that.
Well, she basically said that. Like, the first thing we do is, like, we get results, and then we help other people get results. And then we help them help other people get results. Like, if we're not doing what feels good to get, like, for us first, it's really hard to help other people feel good, right? And it's funny that, like, we're talking about this because I was talking to my sister about the same topic today, literally like 2 hours ago, and she was just saying how, like, her roommate is kind of like a bleh. Like, my sister will say, like, oh, I've been feeling really, really good, and then she gets home, and then I'm like, and her energy is just super, like, low, and she'll say that she'll, like, post something positive, and her roommate will kind of be like, say, like, a snarky comment. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna always have people that are like that. And you can either, like, let them take you down if you don't really, like, aren't true to yourself or don't really know who you want to be, or you can, like, push them away and keep, like, bettering yourself. And I think that's, like, with this business, like, being really, not even this business, in life, like, being really true to you. And, like, it feels good. Like, if it feels good to post about X, Y, and Z, post about it. Who cares if Susie Susu over there is, like, saying mean things about, not even mean things, but, like, snarky comments. And I think sometimes it's easy to listen to them when we don't know who we really are, if that makes sense. That's kind of like a long thing of that.
I mean, I agree, because I think I've been able to post a lot more lately. I'm definitely doing more because I'm not worrying quite as much about that. And I think this is going to sound really, really silly, but taking the male factor out of the equation and worrying about what this person that I'm interested in might be seeing or thinking or whatever, it makes it so much easier. It's so freeing.
Isn't it?
So, I mean, I'm posting more, but I did get, unfortunately, a negative comment on a post today that I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with or whether to just ignore. But,
we'll go look at it and we'll give you some love. I think that's the best part about when you get, like, negative comments, like, letting like us know in like the Freedom Tribe and being like, okay, you guys, I got this negative comment, like I don't know what to do with it, because we'll all go and we'll love on you, and then that person will feel stupid because they have, like, 20 comments of people being like whatever, like, positive things, and then one negative thing, and they'll be like, well, that was dumb, So I remember I haven't gotten a lot of negative comments in the 7 years that I've been coaching, but I've gotten a few. And in those comments, I didn't even have to, like, say anything. Like, my people backed me up, and my people were the ones who were like, I don't even remember what the comments were about, but, like, they were the ones that backed me up, and I didn't even have to do anything. And, like, that's, I feel like, what our tribe is about. It's not about, like, you're going to have, hopefully you don't have a lot, but, when you start moving up, people who aren't, like, who are super uncomfortable with that are going to be saying things.
I'm just hoping that I can keep my son from doing anything.
From your son not saying anything?
Yeah, he's not happy at the moment.
Because of that comment?
Oh yeah.
I should go look at it. I'll look at it after. Is it on your page or on a post?
My page. Yeah. It was from my transformation post. And if he actually read the post, that might have been a different story, but it'll be, yeah. I mean, it's not horrible what he did, but it didn't make me feel good. And I'm just trying to either rise above it or I don't want to explain too much, and I don't want it to escalate into something either, by me saying so I don't know.
We'll go look at it and I can let you know what to think. I mean, honestly, you can delete it if it's like something.
I thought about that too.
If you don't want to keep looking at it, I would totally just delete it. But sometimes it's not even worth like addressing with that person. Like, and this is funny. This is totally off topic, but since we're talking about it, like the other day I had posted about the lotion I was using with Grayson. I don't know if you guys saw that, like the eczema, like Melaleuca stuff I was using. And so this guy that is from my hometown, he does Young Living oils, and literally like he posted 10 different times in my comments thread on like trying to sell his stuff. And I was like, I literally had like a message like written to him, and I'm like, I voice memoed Joelle, and I was like, I don't know what to do right now, because he literally has sent like literally it was like 10 comments of him trying to like sell his things. And then at the end he was like, thanks for all your personal messages, you guys. And I was like, no, you didn't. But I didn't. I was just like, it's not even worth it. I just like defriended him, and I was like, okay. Sometimes it's just not even worth like digging into it more, because it's like, that's just not, some people just aren't worth our energy.
Well, this one definitely isn't. I just don't want to start anything, so.
Yeah. Hey, Jen. She kind of came in at like.
You're like, what did I step into?
But I don't know, Claire, do you want to kind of talk about what, like, finding yourself, and you said about finding like community, how you wanted to.
Yeah. So I guess like for me, when I started coaching, I was very much like insecure, and I didn't really know who I was. I think I was pretty much born not knowing who I was, and I don't think I ever did. I know like some people feel like they do, but I just didn't. And then, so I think for me, like it's been just really uncovering the belief in myself and the belief in what I'm doing. And then in order to find that belief, I had to be honest about what it is that I truly want. And for me, that is connection and community. And those two things are like so massively important to me. And my business just didn't really reflect that. I was like keeping myself safe because I don't know, like maybe I didn't think that I was worthy of, all of that stuff.
Can you please be quiet? They can hear you.
I guess I just didn't think that I was worthy, like all of that stuff, because I really, really wanted it. And so, my like page, I've been growing it for a while now, actively growing it since about September. And really like when I stepped into that and I really, admitted that I wanted that stuff, my like page is like, I mean, the engagement, comments, likes, everything is just like shooting through the roof. And I think I would look and I'd be like, oh, I'm so sad, that post only got 2 likes or, and I was like, well, Claire, why are you so worried about likes and comments? And I'm like, well, because I love community and I love connection. And if I'm not having that stuff, like, I'm like, that's, like, it's my heart. And so, I think really admitting that to myself, I was then able to start to practice and take, he's bit me, practice and take action in a way that was conducive to building those things, if that makes any sense. So on my like page, once I really realized that stuff is important to me, I started to make posts that were really engaging, and it really, prompted people to, share and to comment and things like that. And I also went out and I found an Instagram company that's been growing my Instagram. And I found a like page company that taught me how to grow my like page through ads and all of this stuff. And I'm just like having a lot more downloads and inspired action since I realized and really admitted to myself, that is what I wanted. So I think it's just really important to kind of narrow in and like zone in on what's important to you. And then I feel like whenever we find that, we're able to take action in a different way if we're focused on all these things that we don't want, as opposed to the, 2 or 3 things that we actually do want, if that makes sense.
Right. And I would say, because I am doing the same, like for those of you who have, and I know this was like for me, when people were like, oh, it's all about like growing your like page, and then like Instagram, I was like, I want my Instagram to grow, and it's time consuming. I was talking to one of my new coaches too about this. Like, it's time consuming to grow those, and your like page is almost like impossible to grow.
It's hard.
It's like,
how do you do that?
Really search people on there. But if you guys are like the Jesse Reagan was the training both me and Claire did, and it was only what, like $150?
$2.99, I think. Yeah, something.
It was like super, 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 super cheap. And it was so much content. Like, he's still updating and like updating content. When Facebook changes, he updates like trainings, and he's constantly giving like value inside once you like you do the training or buy the training. And it's like, it's been amazing. Like my like page has even grown like, I think like 2,000 or 3,000 since I really started like using it, which is insane. So, like, that's something where like I personally was like, I want to grow these because I know I need to, but I don't want to spend the time doing it.
So was this by doing things that you learned in the training or by using a company?
Well, they're two different things. So the Jesse Reagan is like a training that you'd go through. He literally teaches you, like, they teach you how to find your avatar, how to like do ads. Like, he breaks down the ads, like how to legit do the ads and all that kind of stuff. And then the 21 Social was the one that we just kind of started, that was newer for Instagram. And that one is a company that grows your Instagram.
21 Social?
Yep, that's right. Right, Claire, that's what it was called. Yeah, 21 Social. And I think you can just search them on, I'll post a link to, well, do you have the link to their website, Claire?
It's just at 21.social on Instagram. Okay. And their website and stuff is like right under there. It's like $69 is their cheapest package, but I'm growing my Instagram like 200 to 300 a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine's grown a lot.
Since 300 period.
It's quite a. I mean, I started March 22nd, and I went from 1,000 or 1,300 followers to 21, 22 today.
Yeah. And just and like this, I mean, for those of you who maybe aren't like making money yet, if you're newer and you're like, well, I don't want to like invest in anything yet,
right.
Like, it's worth it. Like, if you think about, like, that's time that you don't have to go. Because I mean, I was spending a lot of time looking for hashtags, looking through hashtags, finding like different brands that I like and looking through them and doing that and doing that and doing that. And like, that was time consuming in itself. So like $69 can be a business, like that can be a business write-off you do every single month. Like when we do taxes, it can be a business write-off. So it's not something that like, I mean, I think you can even maybe do it for a couple months, and then if you wanted to, stop it. And then if you want to up it again, you can, so it's not something where like you're in a contract or anything.
No, you purchase it every month. And also, if that's not something that feels good to you, don't do it. Because I mean, there are coaches that grow their life. So there's a top 10 coach. I forget her name, but the girl that we used to follow on Facebook, her like page.
Oh, is it Holly?
Holly Hillier or something. Yeah. Anyway, her Instagram is like 7,000 people, and she's top 10. Like, you don't have to have like some massive, following. I mean, really, you can make it work with what you have.
Right.
I think I need more than the 300. I mean, I definitely think that new people need to see And
Right.
Monica and I have been talking about that. You know, Monica's been doing some amazing posts, and you know, I'm looking at them going, wow, but just more people need to see these posts. And so that's what we've been talking about. How do we get more people to see them? Because if I was to see her post, I'd want to work with her. Right. So, you know, it's like, I just need people to see them. So, but I'm at a loss because I'm trying to do it too. And so for us to work, you know, we're just trying to figure it out. So I definitely think that's something that needs to happen, that, you know, more people than just our current people that see it every day.
Yeah. Are you guys connecting like on a daily basis?
Who connecting with?
Yeah. So thank you, Dave. So I started like reaching out to people that commented on my post on my like page, you know, cause you can like, there's that button that says message, you know?
Yeah, when somebody reaches out, then if somebody comments, I have been responding or reaching out on a private message to them in some sort.
That's all I meant. Yeah. And then on Instagram, like I have a thing that I send, you know, just, hey, blah, 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 just to new followers.
But I think they're struggling with finding the new followers, because that's what you know, and I think that's where like, I mean, if it feels good to have somebody else do that part for you, is like finding the new people and then you doing the connecting, do it. I mean, do it and try it. And if you don't like it, don't do it again. I mean, that's kind of my rule of thumb with things like that. Like if I don't like it and I don't feel like it's getting me the right people, then I'm just not going to do it.
I just want to make sure, there's so many companies out there, so it's just hard to know. And so having some recommendations is not a bad thing. Right. You guys have had success with this one. And I am definitely curious to see how that would go. I mean, obviously then it's my job to do something with people that, you know, connect with me, but.
I think too, looking at the hashtags you're using, and I know we talk about this all the time, but like if you're using hashtags that are like Beachbody hashtags, you know, or like hashtags that Beachbody coaches would use, that's who you're going to attract to. But even I'm in this different training that I haven't really like dove into yet, but she doesn't have anything to do with Beachbody at all. She's just like a fitness person. And within her little community, we've formed like an Instagram message pod. And this could be something that like we all do too, if you guys want to do this, but like we're all just in a thread on Instagram. And when somebody posts a new post on Instagram, they post in the thread, like new post. And then everybody in the message thread goes to that post and likes and comments. Cause I guess, and I've actually been learning from the people commenting in there too, like you want to get likes and comments like legit within the first like half hour of your post, because that is going to get it into the news feed. Because like the news feed on Instagram isn't now like the most current. It's the people who will have the most like engagement and like communication on their posts. So like that's something we could do too, is just like it's going to be Beachbody coaches, but at least it's getting into it's getting into people's news feeds too. But also if your news feed and the people you're following and the people only following you are only coaches, it's just getting into their news feed too. So like making sure you're maybe not following a ton of coaches and only like the certain ones you find like inspiration from. I don't know if that helps at all. Anything else? What else are we going to talk about?
Like figuring out what you want.
Oh yeah, figuring out.
And just. And I guess we did kind of talk about that a little bit, figuring out what you want. And like, because I think when you don't know what it is that hi, little guy, he's so freaking cute. I feel like when you don't know what it is that you want, you're kind of all squirrely, right? And then you tend to chase after the things that you don't want instead of what it is that you do want. And then you just kind of end up chasing your tail, right? As opposed to if you can really figure out what it is that you want in this business and in your life and just go after it, you know? And I was listening to Abraham Hicks today. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. It's like a very like woo-y law of attraction type thing. But she was basically saying that focusing on the reality of your life right now will only bring you more of the reality of your life right now. But focusing on what is in your mind, basically, And your dreams, focusing on your dreams will, obviously get you to your dreams. So I've just kind of really been focusing on what it is that I want rather than where I'm currently at. And that's helped me a lot too. And then I get, those like, pings of like, oh, okay. And then I, should go do that or post this or reach out to that girl. And then I kind of get these intuitive actions if I'm focused on where I want to go as opposed to where I am. So
I think too, and this kind of brought up something about like inspired action. So like when you guys are feeling good and like when you feel like, oh, I really want to do this for my business, do it. Like if you don't feel inspired to like, and I don't want to say like don't do the things that you don't feel like you want to do, because sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do. Like sometimes we have to work out when we don't feel like we want to work out. But like if you have like an idea or something that makes you feel like really excited, do it. Because I know. Yep, we're working on our counting. Because I know for a long time, like I'm the worst because I always come up with ideas, but I never execute. I never execute them. So like lately, even in the last since this year, I've just been really like, okay, I really want to do this for my business. This is going to be my focus for the day. Like this is, if I only get this one thing done for my business, and I'm sorry. Like, what the heck? What are you doing? Just go with it. Like, go with what feels good. And sometimes it might just be one thing that you do for your business, but it could be like if it's inspired and it's like an action, do it. I don't know if I feel like that was all over the place, but I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, because that's the stuff that's really going to push your business forward is that inspired action stuff. If you're like, well, I should probably reach out to 5 people because I should, or I should probably post a picture of my shake because I should, or if I, all these things. Well, don't do what you should. Do what you freaking want to do, and that's that inspired action.
And after you get it done, then you feel so good, it keeps you going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually did a live video today in a group, private group, and Monica actually saw it and then she jumped on and said, hi, it's the first time I've ever responded to somebody in a video. I've done a lot of taped videos, but I'm getting better. And actually being in Carl's group is what has inspired this a lot, because him saying, get on stories, talk on stories, do the videos. So been trying, and it's getting so much easier.
It is, yeah.
I still, I still have to do a couple takes on some things, but I'm getting better at posting the first thing. Sometimes I have my son sitting across the room throwing things at me to try to make me laugh and be more myself. He's really sweet. He's really supportive. But, I watch your guys' video. You just get on and you just talk. And so it's like, okay.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like the more you get comfortable with talking on stories, the more video gets easier, and the more you talk on these things, the easier talking gets, so it's like the more you do it, the easier it gets. That's just one of those things where it's like, it's not as
Darren Daly, that was one of his things too. I mean, that's all these people. Hey, this is for real. So, doing it, and it feels good because it feels like I am doing things that are going to move my business forward. So
it's funny that
all finally clicking. Long time coming.
No, I was just going to say, it's funny that you said that, Lauren, because I feel like on these calls, I'm more nervous than I am on like my live and on my stories. I feel like I'm totally me on there and I'm kind of like this on here. So it's just funny, like how it's the same thing, yet it's a different, feel to it.
Right. Okay, so I think we have like 10 minutes left. So I don't know if you guys want to do like a little Q&A, or is there anything that like has really been working for you that you want to share, or anything you feel like, okay, I've been doing this and this hasn't been working? Like, do you guys have any tips on that, or like anything like that for the last 10 minutes? I know last week we kind of got cut off and I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
We should let's take a picture first. Everyone story this before we get cut off, because then we'll have at least that done. And then we can do a Q&A. You guys want me to just post it in the team page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless we're all going to be like this.
Yeah.
There'll be a picture of us all
Smiling at
taking
me, and I'm like,
pictures.
okay, guess I'm taking the picture. Okay, I'll post it. Okay, Q&A.
I cannot use the same picture. Okay.
Anyone have any Q&As? Let's see. What do I guess for me, okay, so like today, I know because a lot of us are doing and have done or are finished with 80-day obsession. And I know like we all want people to see like our results and like our before and afters and stuff like that. But I know like today I had posted a picture of like my jeans being really like too big, and I had posted and just asked like kind of like put in there a little bit like thanks to my program, blah blah blah. But then I like put a comment like I need help finding new jeans, comment below. So like I feel like when we were talking about engaging posts, like even sharing like with that one, it wasn't an invite to anything, but now hopefully it like opens the doors to people being like, well, I want my jeans to be too small, too big. What is she doing? You know, kind of thing. Even though I had nothing to do with like telling them like, reach out to me if you want help. It was like, tell me what your jeans are. So I think sometimes even with like posts like that, because I know for me, that's the hardest part sometimes is just the posting. Like, ooh, excuse me. I want people to like see the results, but I don't constantly want to be like, join my group, and keeping it like different. Cause I feel like people can relate to their jeans feeling too tight and wanting their jeans to feel loose. So like even things, excuse me, like that for posts and like engagement, asking questions like, where do you guys get your blah, 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 and see what happens, but have it like show that your program is working. Or whatever you're doing. I don't know if that's kind of like
just trying to get real creative with I don't know.
No questions. What's been working really well? Have you guys find something that's been working really well or hasn't been working really well?
I found posting like my transformation pic, because I mean like I went from a size 16 to a size 8, so anytime I post that, like that's where I get the most engagement, is when I bring it back and then bring it to where I am now. Even on my 80-day results, I mean, it wasn't like significant, but you know, when people can see that it's working, I guess that's when I get the most.
Right.
And people are always like, oh my God, you went from a size 16, you didn't look that big. And I was like, yep.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I know, Haley, your transformation like even blows my mind when you post post it way back, and I'm like, literally doesn't even look like the same person. It's crazy. But even like going, like when you guys are sharing your transformation and you're sharing like your fitness pictures and you're getting likes and comments, like reach out to those people via like message. I know we can like, you can comment on your post too, but I know for me, I'm constantly like thanking people for liking, especially my fitness stuff. Cause I feel like I can just, it's an easy, like, how are you doing with your health and fitness goals, or how are you doing with your fitness, or like even, I'll post what I said today. I kind of just go with the flow, what I feel like.
And I don't even like talk about health and fitness. I mean, I'm just like, you know, hey, I'm super glad that we connected, and people like love it. They're like, oh my God, me too. You know, I totally love your page, or I love your post, da, 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 da. And then that kind of, and then I invite them to join the self-love club. And then Lauren and I run our challenge groups in there via events. And then I can invite them to join in that event. Yeah. So that's like, huh?
Okay, this will be for maybe next week or sometime, but we're trying to work on our system.
Oh, yeah.
So
cool. Talk about that.
I'd love to hear what people are doing that way, because, I mean, Monica and I were really trying to jump in, and, you know, when I first started, I went crazy, and then not so crazy. But now we're trying to work on this together and just get things in place so that it works. But, you know, we want to develop a community, and we're way overthinking things too, but we just want to hear what people are doing and how you're setting things up. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, Lauren will be out of town, right? Because you're going to Mexico.
I'll be back Monday, so we can talk.
Oh, yeah.
So just kind of describe what you're saying with that and running events, that kind of thing. What your process is, just so that we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have 2 minutes, so let's talk about that next week. But
right.
I know even with that, like inviting, like 1 minute. I'm not even going to get into it because I'm going to get cut off, and then I'm going to be sad. Maybe I'll make a video. I'll go live and make a little video or something.
Yeah, do it.
Like now, I don't even remember what I was going to say.
About systems and inviting, and oh no, remember it, Lauren. Remember.
I know, like we've just been inviting everybody to the like
to
anybody we're talking.
If they're our tribe.
If they're our tribe, yeah. So like that's even like if you guys want to just even be added to the group and see. I think Haley's in it. Jen, I think, is in it.
Yep.
Other Jen is in it. Like even just see what it's like in there, and then like
it's a pretty active group.
Bring the same vibe to your guys' group too, because I know it's helpful having somebody else to kind of do it with.
That's
and it's a little bit more. Yeah, it's more fun too. So
it's a bit more fun.
I think we've posted.
Yeah, I'd love to see what you're doing.
I know Claire posted a link in the Freedom Tribe group too. So if you like search self-love, it could be in there. Yeah. Good. Now we kind of have a topic for next week. So
yeah, I'm excited because I feel good about.
Yeah.
And really, your system has to just feel good, and as long as it feels good, it's on the right path. So.
Right, and it's gonna be like you're gonna tweak it. I think this is what I was gonna talk about. Like you might do it 1 month one way, and you're like, we did not like that. The next month, try it a new way. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. You just gotta.
That's why we're wanting to see what people are doing, or how you're drawing, or how you're just setting it up. Just because some of this, even the technology stuff, is like, woo! So
it changes like every month, and you can do new, cooler things. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That'd be great.
Okay. We'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
Thanks for getting on, you guys. I'm going to cut us off before we get cut off.
Okay. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.